Belinda. Welcome to Pally Talk Talks 3 to 1.
Hello, thank you so much.
Not at all. So this is Belinda. She lives in Twickenham and she's a virtual assistant. And we're going to run through the three questions for you, and then you'll have the chance to ask me one back.
Okay.
But we'll start with the first one. What's your journey to becoming a VA been like?
Well, at first, the reason I decided to want to become a VA is because I had some surgery on my foot and I couldn't walk for 2 weeks. So I started to think, right, I need to work from home. And I realized it was really popular in America, but not in the UK. So I did a lot of research and I just kept at it and I wasn't going to give up. So it wasn't easy and it didn't come easy. And I eventually found something. And then lockdown arrived. And then I found another job. I was taking meeting notes in redundancy meetings. So it was a little bit sad, but they couldn't see me and they couldn't hear me. So I did that job. And then I went back to an employer from the past. And because they're located on the other side of the world, I said, have you got any work? Could I work for you again? And then that's how I fell into a VA role that was 2.5 years, just over 2.5 years.
Interesting. And fully and full time.
I was actually working part-time
Yeah.
because I'm a singer as well. So I was trying to balance out my energy, kind of work and go off to studios and gigs. And, it's all a bit crazy. So I was trying to balance everything out, my energy across 7 days.
Yes. And your singing wasn't one of my questions, but I want to hear about your singing. So how long have you been singing for? Where do you sing? How often do you sing, etc.? I'd love to know more.
Yeah, I used to practice to ABBA and make sure everyone had gone out and shut all the windows when I was a kid. And one of my sisters came in and heard me and then went and told everyone. And then fast forward to age 24, I went on telly and did an impersonation of Janis
Nice.
Joplin. Yeah, on Stars in Their Eyes.
I still love that show.
So that was really fun. It was really scary, but there were two Janices, so I was one of them.
Yeah.
And then later on down the line, I started doing covers. I
Yeah.
was in three all-girl bands, rock bands, which was really cool. And then I tried to do the Blondie thing with all the guys, and now I am actually still playing with all the guys. So I guest sing. I kind of gate crash people's bands.
Incredible. And where do you perform now?
Well, in January, I was in Scotland, Newcastle, Lancashire. Normally it's in Twickenham. And then sometimes it's in social clubs. Sometimes it's at outdoor festivals in the summer. Sometimes it's in social clubs, not in Twickenham.
Yeah.
So there's quite a variation going on.
Oh, can you send me some videos?
Yeah, sure.
I want to have a look at them all, and we'll upload some onto Pally Talk. I think it's incredible that you do VA work and then in the evening or in the weekends you
Yeah.
sing. So
I
cool.
did actually do some virtual assistant singing lessons with a child.
Really?
Yeah, so I
How long did that
incorporated
go?
into that, trying to get them confident using cameras and just to make them feel a bit more like this, because people do just stare at you,
Yeah.
look you up and down. So I thought I'll try and use the cameras and
Yeah.
the video call to try and get some confidence up in them as well.
That's fascinating. God, what a niche.
It's
And could they learn through a Zoom? I mean, did it work the same? They
not quite the same, but it's
yeah.
good enough,
Yeah.
and because when I started working for the last 2.5 years with a company overseas,
Yeah.
when we met in person, you realise, wow, that's just so different. So a bit of both is good.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, it is. I think meeting on Zoom's good if you know the person from meeting them in person, if that makes sense. It
Yeah,
really helps to have the sort of balance of both.
yeah,
I actually found that at the first Pally Talk event. We'd all been chatting on WhatsApp for so long. And then when we met in person, all I'd really known of everyone was that little headshot that they have in
yeah,
WhatsApp. And then when people were walking in, I was like, I know who you are because of your picture, but it's just so nice seeing like
yeah.
the full person. But no, I'm with you on that. But your singing sounds incredible. I really want to see it in person. If you ever perform in London or in Peterborough Way, let me know.
Yeah, I will.
I'd love to come watch.
And with my journey with being a VA, I'm trying to add some other elements into it. So I'm studying TEFL, so I can teach people English. I can teach foreign students English.
Yeah.
I haven't quite got there yet. I've got the whole 120-hour course to do. And I'm also studying Amazon Web Services cloud practitioner and solutions architect course content, and it's quite like, whoa, it's a lot to take in. So I've taken on a bit too much, but I have to make the best of it now. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought if I was studying, my brain could handle two completely different subjects. But there's not really enough time in the 24 hours each day.
Can it take you 10 years to do, or is there a time frame you have to study
Well,
on?
no, you just should kind of get on with it and then do the exam. But I'm resitting the course for the second time,
Oh
and I'm still
no.
thinking, oh, I thought this was going to be a bit easier, but it's not really. It's a lot of information because it's all new to me. I'm
Oh,
hoping I could add, strings to my bow and have a kind of, have some other things I can do for people as well.
yeah. Do you know what? Once you've done it, it will be amazing. You just
Yeah,
have work to
I feel
do.
like I'm doing 2 degrees, and also
Yeah.
I really would like to try and help catch hackers if I could one day.
That'll be another course.
Yeah, yeah,
Wouldn't we all though? That the hackers are unbelievable.
yeah. They really are.
When you've been done by one, when you haven't been done by one, rather, you think, "God, that's so stupid. How did you believe that?" And then when they get you,
Yeah,
and you go, and it's so creepy because they've completely fooled you into a false
it's
like,
really
yeah, I
creepy.
know.
It actually happened to me just recently.
Oh
So I
no.
went to Guatemala in December, and I used my
Yeah.
credit card to draw out £100. So these banks have got guys outside with rifles, like armed guards. But when I was in there, I was kind of thinking, I wonder whether anyone can see me put my PIN number in. And
Yeah.
then I landed back in the UK on Christmas Eve, and 1 month later, I got the scam call. So I think they pass on people's details and they all share and get a cut. And
Yeah.
I fell for the scam, and then I just rang the bank and stopped it just in time.
Yeah.
I couldn't actually believe that I fell for it.
Well, no, you didn't though. They're like, well, they're con artists, aren't they? So
Yeah.
when they're really good, they're yeah,
Yeah,
especially
this guy was really good, really
yeah.
good.
Then you're
Because they
never
put you
gonna
into a
know.
state of shock. So
Yeah.
you're in an emotional state of shock and you're
Yeah.
not thinking straight.
I know. So if you do that course one day, that is going to benefit the rest of us. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know how it works. Is there a course you can do, or is it
Not
just
well, security. So once
yeah,
you learn the
internet?
basics,
Yeah,
I'm
cybersecurity.
learning about virtual servers and
Yeah.
serverless things. And I thought it was all in space, where all the satellites are. But I've realised they're not. They're in physical data centers, in deserts, with armed guards. You never know who owns them. But the cloud is not in the cloud. It's on land.
Oh, it's all just. I'm glad you're learning it because you can teach me one day.
Yeah.
It's all just gaze above and over. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting course because I think cybersecurity for individuals and for companies is
Yeah.
everyone wants a bit more, don't they? Because you've got to
Definitely,
make sure there's
definitely,
the
virtual private cloud, and I'm learning all these things. There's
yeah,
just so many acronyms and things like that. So it takes a bit of going over and over the information.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
meeting people from the military, the defense. It's like a whole new world.
yeah.
And it's all online. And if you look at job descriptions for data engineers,
Mm.
cloud engineers, it's all remote.
Yeah, so
And
well, that's what you want, isn't it? So that's perfect.
yeah,
'Cause that's super interesting. And then question number two. No, I'm on the wrong one. Question number two. What are your biggest challenges? What are your biggest challenges as a virtual assistant?
I think the fear of the internet cutting out, because it's just everything.
Mm,
I think I wouldn't know what to do if it went down. And there is always that possibility that, in my area where I live, it could go down.
mm,
It would just bring everything to a halt. Recently I was overseas with a power cut and they had a generator, but I'm not sure you can do that with the internet. I'd have to go somewhere else. I'd have to go out with the
yeah,
laptop like super fast and ring everyone I could to explain what was going on.
yeah.
And I learned in the course that I'm doing that the biggest threat to the internet is sharks and other creatures because the cables are all on the ocean floor.
And if they nibble through one of them, cuts everyone.
They might get their own back.
Yeah. Imagine that. Your whole town's gone down and it's just because some shark like the taste
Great
of
white.
fire. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But I suppose if internet goes down, you still have your singing. So if everyone suddenly was not online and wasn't on their Instagram and wasn't on their working on the laptop, everyone would want to go out to the pub, wouldn't they? So your
Yeah.
singing would go through the moon.
Yeah. I think another challenge is there's so much information. I've got like 5, 6, 7 email accounts. Everything's just coming in and I'm
Yeah.
unsubscribing. But the flow of
Yeah.
Traffic. I'm even checking my phone in my bed. I know you shouldn't do that. Last thing at night, first thing in the morning. I feel like I'm becoming like a robot.
Yeah.
So I think that's a challenge to have a healthy work-life balance and not be head in the electronic world all the time. It's so
Easier
easy to
said
do
than
and it's
done.
so
Yeah.
addictive.
Mm. I know it is. It is. I think being a VA specifically, because you're managing your own time more or less, you sort of don't have being able to turn off is really hard. Yeah, I totally get the whole checking your phone at
Yeah,
night.
and sometimes you think, oh, I'll just do this. I'll just stay up a bit longer. I don't need any dinner, you know, and then I don't need any sleep. And then suddenly you don't feel so good. And you think, now I'm not really firing on all cylinders. So I do need sleep. I do need good food. I do need to stay hydrated.
I know. Yeah, time management. It's really hard. I think yeah, I do agree. It's one of the biggest challenges. But I spoke to Nikki last week on this show, and she has got a work phone now. So she has work phone, obviously work phone, and her personal phone. So just when she's doing something, or when she's with her kids, or I don't know, the working day is up for her, she can leave her working phone at home. And I when I was employed, I had two phones, but I'd never think of doing it now. But it actually makes so much sense. Like if you do just want to say, actually, I'm off this week. I'm not getting paid because I'm self-employed and I'm on holiday, so I will leave my work phone at home. I mean, to us, it's like we would never do that, but you have every right to sort of split the two. But it was a really
Yeah.
interesting idea to have two phones. I don't know if it's something you'd ever consider, but again, it would just help with the whole.
Sometimes I turn my phone off and then I go to pick it up and I think, oh,
No, turn it
yeah,
off.
oh, I'll just turn it back on again.
I know. How many clients do you work with at one time?
Well, I was always working with one, to be honest.
Yeah,
I haven't tried to do that balancing act
yeah,
yet because I've been lucky enough to get enough work or as
yeah,
much work as I want from one
yeah,
place, one person,
yeah.
one company.
Yeah, I think I personally I work better that way. I tried having two at one point and I had a total meltdown. I just couldn't get the two bits working together. But some VAs have like four, five, and they can just balance the.
Yeah.
I suppose once you know the client really well, then you know, okay, this time
Mm.
we spent on that. But both of mine were new and it was too much at the time. But no, I think having one is
Yeah, and having the boundaries, and if they understand that they're not the only
yeah,
one, then that might create a conversation around could they offer more hours, and then you can let another one
yeah,
go.
I know. And then you can have just one. But no, that's really interesting on the challenges. I do think you're spot on with the yeah, managing time, personal time, family time.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, where do you see your career going in the next 5 years?
I want to be able to have a specialism
Mm,
and still be open to all of the opportunities that I'm able to work with.
mm,
So the computing side of the world, I've never thought I would get into that, but I was working for an IT company. So it's just kind of a natural progression to want to know what's going on in the background.
yeah,
So I think in 5 years, I'm hoping to be qualified as a cloud engineer, solutions architect, maybe. I think there's a lot of avenues you can go in. I've just got to get the basics done,
yeah.
understand the basics. So, maybe teach some people some English. You can
Mm,
even just talk to them down the telephone and you get paid per minute or something per second.
yeah,
So I've always been a jack of all trades, master of none, probably because of the singing. I'm
yeah,
always trying to do that as well as everything else. So
yeah,
it's a bit of juggling, like a mother of children. You're trying to juggle a few things,
yeah.
but I just want some more earning power. So
Yeah.
I'm throwing in a few different elements to make my virtual existence more robust.
Yeah. I think that, but that's is so clever in a way because there are VAs and there's lots of VAs, and if you have your niche and you have your specialty, and you could do tutoring to children in the morning, and then in the afternoon you could do some tech stuff, and if anything, it also makes your day really interesting because you've got so many
Yeah.
different projects going on. But yeah, well, I'm looking forward to seeing the journey.
Because at the moment I'm just a telephone, well, I say just, I'm a telephone interviewer just calling people one call after the other. And at first I thought, oh my God, this is really hard. And
Yeah,
I shouldn't be talking all day, I'm a singer. But I've got
yeah,
used to it and I've adjusted. And so, yeah, I like trying new things. And it's interesting how you change your opinion from beginning something in the you're in the middle to,
Yeah.
Can't trust your own reactions just from the outset. They change.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when you know more about something, I presume you start to like it a bit more when you start to understand, oh, this is why, this is why, this is why, when it's something totally
Yeah,
new
yeah.
and you like it a bit
And I
more.
like talking to people. I like helping people. So as long as I can do that and get job satisfaction, that's
Yeah.
the main thing, isn't it? In any job, you want to
Yeah.
feel like you're doing a good job. So you want to get that feedback.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then finally, do you have one final question for me?
Yeah. So I've been to both of your events so far. I think it's amazing. I think you're really inspirational. And so I would like to ask you what inspired you to start Pally Talk? Is there one thing or is there more than one thing?
Um, the idea came to mind. God, I sounded like I was singing then. Do you hear that? The idea came to mind in December 23 when I was pregnant and a VA, and I'd gone from sort of a 24/7 job before as an EA, and I suddenly had this life living in freelance virtual career world, and I hadn't had anything like that before or experienced anything like it before. And I suppose the main inspiration was to offer a community for people to enter the assistant industry easier than it was traditionally, because everyone had their sort of closed black book of contacts. So open up the communication bubble and have a jobs board with freelance, part-time, hybrid, flexible working options really for women who are at this like at the start of their career and just want something part-time or middle or at any stage of their career, which is why I think the Pally Talk community is so nice because we have the 18-year-olds who have just left school, and then we also have
Yeah.
people who just want their tiny bit of work because they're retirement age. And yeah, it's inspired me in a way during the process of it growing because I didn't know the community element of it was going to be so close and so tight, and everyone was going to enjoy it so much, and it's
Yeah.
just been amazing.
Yeah. I really, really like being part of something new as well. It's really
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, it is. And I'm glad everyone's enjoying it. And it's going to hopefully just continue to grow and everyone will support each other. But I just think like the WhatsApp group blows my mind sometimes because people ask for the most bizarre like help in a for something in somewhere and someone replies and they have the answer. And it's like,
Yeah. I know. I try to keep up with it all, watching because I think, God, I'm learning so many things here.
yeah, I know. It's amazing. And I just think every event just shows how incredible everyone is who's part of the community and sort of how everyone's getting to know each other bit by bit on every sort of
Yeah.
WhatsApp conversation, every event. Everyone's getting more familiar with one another. And yeah, I just love it. It's been such a
Yeah. It's really, really amazing. I love it too. And well
yeah.
done.
Well, no, thank you for being part of it. It's you guys that make it really. But thank you so much for being a guest on the show. I
Oh,
will
thank you for inviting me.
not at all. It's been so nice to catch up. But